Hey everyone, today is Friday, 8 o'clock p.m. The market was closed today because US holiday, happy Independence Day. It's July 4th. So, actually, today's July 3rd. Yeah, because, it happens during the weekend, so they move a day before. So, July 3rd, tomorrow is July 4th, so happy Independence Day. So let's take a look at the market today. The S&P 500 E-mini was in session. It was still trading, even though today was a holiday. You can see that the price is slowly drifting down from this level, and as I've drawn this before, this is a major zone of supply, and I'm expecting the price to probably gonna drift consolidate again here. And I am still a little bit bearish on the market. I don't think the market could, based on the price action, based on how quick this price is rising, it just shows me the bulls, the people who are long the market are getting exhausted. If you look at this, right? If you look at this particular trend line, the slope, versus this, and versus things like this when we're popping from the bottom, a real pop from the bottom. Take a look at those. So when you have a real pop from the bottom, the bulls, they don't want you to be there, right? Think about it. The whales who, if they want to lift the market to a very high level, they don't want you to be there. They're going to have a very quick rise. So by the time you realize you're going to enter, you're going to be buying at a fairly high level. For example, if you miss out this particular move, which is basically happened in 2 days, not even 2 days, right? And if you miss out this one, and if you buy at any of these levels, you will be incurring quite a bit of loss at some point, right? Because imagine you bought here or here. After you're gonna be barely profitable, and the price is gonna dip almost close to your cost for the next more than a month and a half. So buying at this particular point, if you miss out this rally, is actually quite psychologically damaging, because this wouldn't be an ideal entry point for the medium term, right? For the short to medium term, which is like a month or 2 months or so. And of course, if you bought it here, if you miss out this particular move, which most of that happened actually overnight. If you look at this, most of that happened after the market has closed, and this move basically happened overnight. And so majority of the market participants, especially retail investors, won't be able to buy at such a low point. So if you bought it here, they would be holding quite a bit. They would be getting, the market quite volatile after that for, let's say, March 24th to April 3rd for the next 2 weeks. And they would be seeing red in their account, right? It's also pretty psychologically struggling for that period. And since there was a huge crash that just happened before, you really don't know where this market will go. Maybe it's gonna dip down. Maybe it's gonna keep going up. The chance of that is actually, back then I was analyzing it. The chance of this dipping down is about 20 to 30%. So you do have a chance of dipping down, that you're going to be holding a loss for the foreseeable future when I was analyzing at that point. So again, these kind of moves is an indication of a very strong bullishness, and the whales, they don't want you to be there. They don't want you to be able to catch this kind of move. That's why these kind of moves are so swift. They happen within a day. The magnitude is actually quite a lot. You're talking about 10% move in a day or two. Okay, and if you look at this one was pretty swift, only 7%. And again, this one failed. This is the most recent one with a very steep slope. Obviously, that one is a very steep slope as well, and this was obviously successful. And look at this particular move here that we had since June 26th. And this move is very, very, like the slope is nowhere as good as the other ones, right? The slope is not as steep. It just shows me the market is not ready to take off. I think that following this particular move, we're going to be seeing more consolidations. And that is a very, very educated guess, in my opinion. I think we have a high probability of seeing more consolidations after this, around this particular level, around this box, right? Sorry. Around, like inside this zone. I think we're gonna see more of that. And I am still predicting that, we're going to consolidate further in this zone. And due to some negative news in the U.S. General economy, for example, the coronavirus, right? Coronavirus has been making new all-time highs in a lot of U.S. states, and a lot of states are forced to reclose and forced to abandon their reopening strategies. And that could, stock market could, right now, stock market is not responding to that. A lot of stocks are going all-time high, right? But the stock market might respond to that. It's just lagging a little bit, just like the coronavirus when it first showed up in China back in February, and the stock market started responding in late February and really getting quite extreme in early March, right? So I think that we still have a chance of dipping down to 2,700, have this mini crash that's going to be coming in. It's totally possible. And I will be waiting for the market to come down, and I'll buy the dip here. And that is my plan. Okay. So right now I have nothing. I sold it here. I sold most of my positions here, and that's it. That's it for me. I bought it here. I sold it here. Not the best gain I've had before. Not the best return. Not the best time frame. Not the best timing, in my opinion. But made some money, right? It is what it is. And I'm expecting markets to consolidate around this level, and maybe we're going to have a mini crash back to this 2,700 level. We'll see about that. Okay, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Due to Bitcoin right now is following the stock market, so Bitcoin, I'm a little bit concerned, to be honest. I don't think Bitcoin is going to ever dip down to the 4,000 level in the foreseeable future. It might do that after, another huge bubble and came down again. Not a huge bubble, but another small bubble then it bursts and comes down. But I don't think we're gonna be retesting the 4,000 level this time before the next run up. So I think Bitcoin, there are a couple possibilities. Right now we're just consolidating this level. I think we're gonna consolidate further, and we're just gonna break out. And if you look at this is a descending triangle. I don't really trust these kind of stuff, but this is just a typical descending triangle. You can see the price being squeezed, volatility is decreasing. And once we get to this particular end of the triangle, I think we're going to resolve into a huge move, which is probably going to be to the upside. Well, this thing also can resolve in a different way. Again, I'm very bullish in Bitcoin, so I always think the price is going to resolve to the upside. That's my bias. However, there might be another way to resolve this triangle, right? There could be a shakeout. Like it could be it shakes out to this level. Again, you see the price here. It basically increased by quite a lot, quite quickly. The whales are trying to lift the market to a particular spot. They don't want anyone to follow. They don't want anyone to take to be able to profit from this. So they lift the market as soon as possible to force most people who came in market just a little bit late, they're gonna be forced to be buying at this price. And now you can see that this is a huge, important psychological level, because a lot of people since May, if you're late to the game, since May 1st, you will be buying around this level, and you will be seeing your account to be red and green for a while, which is very psychologically exhausting, right? And what's going to happen is, I think if the Bitcoin, if the price, this is another scenario that I want you to be aware of, is that if the price comes down to fill this gap, so this is like a gap. Although the price, there's some trading here, but this is really a gap, right? Because there's barely any Bitcoins traded in this zone. It was a very quick move, so we have a gap here. See that? So I think the price might come down and fill the gap, and then go back up. Okay, so that is also very high chance of happening. It's a potential possibility. It's a potential possibility, and that this move could happen quite slowly, and it could be like this, right? It could be slowly drifting down to attract a lot of sellers, and then boom, right? So it's kind of attracting bears to shorting the Bitcoin, eventually run them over. That is also a possibility. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about today, and enjoy your weekend, enjoy your Friday night, and see you next time.